Fight or flight? After another disappointing election cycle, what is the GOP to do about abortion? But before we get to that question, let's get a grip. The way some Republicans talk about the landscape, you'd believe the party was on the verge of extinction rather than in control of a majority of state legislative seats, a majority of state legislatures, and a majority of governor's mansions, with GOP-controlled states like Texas, Tennessee, and Florida enjoying population booms, while Marxist-dominated states like California, New York, and Illinois are hemorrhaging residents. With that said, there have undoubtedly been plenty of missed opportunities over the last few cycles, and the names Trump and Dobbs are most often invoked as the causes. Trump has suggested he wants to negotiate a truce on the topic if elected. Well, that won't happen, and per Dobbs, it's no longer his place. The Supreme Court did what pro-lifers have long advocated be done: overturn Roe, a terrible decision as a matter of law and even worse as a matter of cultural impact, and let Americans of the several states hash it out. But in our jubilance over Dobbs, we pro-lifers underestimated the blowback that would come from 50 years of the pro-abortion left's federalization of every political issue and the rights granting attendant to it. We also failed to appreciate how effective the dehumanizing marketing of the pro-abortion left was in hardening so many American hearts. We blew through a lot of flashing lights. I recall being struck at the time of David Daleidon's undercover expose of Planned Parenthood's baby parts trafficking operation by how tepid the condemnation of that barbarism was outside of pro-life circles. That was a year before Trump got elected. Between family disintegration and increased secularization, America became substantially more callous in the period between Roe and Dobbs. While I'm hopeful for another great awakening, I don't see it arriving before November 2024. Therefore, it seems to me the approach to abortion in an electoral context needs to be exclusively a political one. This does not interrupt the Lord's work of winning hearts and minds and saving babies. The two can coexist if pro-lifers can compartmentalize. It may sound a bit counterintuitive, but I think using the approach of the anti-Second Amendment gun banners is instructive. Do you think Chuck Schumer would ban guns if he could? Of course he would. So why doesn't he say so? Why doesn't Chuck Schumer and all the other confiscators run around saying, we won't stop until private ownership of guns is prohibited and not a single American is in possession of a gun? Because that position is neither popular nor feasible, nor constitutional, not that the left cares about those things. Instead, Schumer says we need to ban scary-looking semi-automatic rifles because they're weapons of war and are not needed for self-defense and so on. You know the rap. That puts the 2A folks like me in the position of making the less compelling arguments, as per public opinion polling, about abstract legal rights or operational functionality of the guns. Schumer hasn't changed his position. He's just not leading with his chin. Schumer's never pressed about his philosophical view on private gun ownership, so he's driving the discussion on guns that best serves his political interests. In states where abortion is legal and will be for the foreseeable future, states like Kansas and Ohio, to put not too fine a point on recent losses, pro-lifers might adopt a similar approach with a little jujitsu: safe, legal, and rare. That was Bill Clinton's slogan to bring together a range of abortion supporters, from the reasonable pro-choicer to the rabid pro-abortion type. I know many pro-lifers will bristle at this. However, in states with permissive abortion regimes, abortion is legal, and it's going to stay that way. So why not put the pro-abort left on defense by acknowledging the procedure is legal while issuing the safe and rare challenge that necessarily implicates regulations and restrictions without getting pulled into the specific line drawing? This way, pro-lifers put themselves on the side of the non-iconoclastic pro-choicer while working to advance limitations that are possible. This concedes no principle or objective, but rather simply political reality. And it may just dull the blades of enough suburban swingers to deliver GOP victories that lead to more protections for unborn children than rhetorical purity can. I'm Dan Proft with a counterculture commentary. Please like this video and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And please leave a comment in the comment section. We'd love to hear your thoughts.